Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'd like to start off by thanking the organizers of the Pakistan Innovative Finance Forum, and especially Dr. Shamshad Akhtar for extending an opportunity for me to be present here and especially to speak on this occasion. Many of the points that I wanted to speak were comprehensively addressed in Dr. Saiba's speech, but I'd just like to reiterate a few figures, and that is the importance that Pakistan's SME sector contributes in Pakistan's economy, and how successive governments in the past have neglected it or failed to really address this area. In Pakistan, SMEs contribute 30% to the GDP. They have a sizable footprint on Pakistan's employment. They constitute nearly 90% of all enterprises in Pakistan and employ approximately 80% of the non-agricultural labor force. SMEs also make an important contribution in the export sector, accounting for approximately 25% of the exports of our manufactured goods. Based on their contribution to GDP, job creation and exports, SME are indeed an important part of the economy. But however, and this is a statistic that I'd like everyone to focus on, as a proportion of total private sector credit, SMEs receive only 7.5%. And this is in stark contrast to the fact that they are 90% of all enterprises in Pakistan, and 30% is their contribution to GDP, yet they receive only 7.5%. If you look at the corresponding figures in other countries, in Bangladesh, this figure is as high as 25% of total private sector credit. In Turkey, it is 39%, whereas in Pakistan, it has gone down in the past 10 to 11 years from 16% to 7.5% today. And the government of Pakistan today recognizes this challenge of limited financing, and within the first 100 days of this government, we set ourselves a target of taking up this figure from 7% to 17% by 2023. And this means that the outreach will be increased, the financial outreach will be increased from 200,000 SMEs currently to 700,000 by 2023. In order to achieve these targets, there are different programs that we have launched. The highlight is the Kamyab Jawan scheme, which provides interest-free loans of 10,000 rupees to 100,000 rupees, and clean micro loans of 100,000 to 500,000 rupees on subsidized rates, and then small collateral-based loans of PKR 0.5 million to 5 million. Not only that, a new SME policy is being developed by SMEDA. The Prime Minister chairs an economic meeting every week with his economic ministers. Indeed, there is one today as well in the evening. And I can tell you that for the past 3 successive meetings that have taken place, SMEs have been the keystone subject of that meeting. In fact, there was a very good and comprehensive presentation on how we plan to raise private sector credit by the State Bank of Pakistan last week, and before that, we brainstormed how we are going to reinvigorate SMEDA to really take up this task again. And this is which I would like to discuss now, SMEDA, that the new policy that we are devising will be in addressing the challenges that SME face in Pakistan. And SMEDA, I feel, was at one time leading this charge for SME financing, for SME ease of doing business, for the SME related affairs. And we do feel that the SMEDA will once again, inshallah, in a very few months, be again taking up this task as well as they have been doing before. Simultaneously, the government has been involved in facilitating a conducive operational and regulatory environment for businesses. This is evidenced in the fact that Pakistan has jumped 28 places in the ease of doing business rankings of the World Bank. This indeed is a great achievement. As you all know, that from 2013 to 2018, we lost about 26 places. So we've gained 28 places in the first year of this government. And indeed, I am very hopeful that there will be an equal and steep climb again when the data and the rankings come out next year as well, because the current data is only up till April 2019. And many of the good things that we did post-April, like in the budget by simplifying taxes, and when Mr. Shabbar came in by automating sales tax regimes, by clubbing taxes, we're coming up with a common sales tax filing portal. All of this will be reflected in next year's rankings. So we do expect another steep climb in inshallah next year in the rankings. On the supply side, a number of initiatives are also being spearheaded by the State Bank of Pakistan, including establishing a credit guarantee company, which has already been incorporated in partnership with multilateral agencies to provide risk coverage to financial institutions and encourage lending to SMEs. One of the things that we've noticed is the reason why private commercial banks are not lending to the SMEs is collateral and their risk profile. And this is something that we have asked the State Bank of Pakistan to address. The State Bank's policy for promotion of SME finance is based upon 9 pillars, which include improving regulatory framework, upscaling of microfinance banks, risk mitigation strategy, simplified procedures for SME financing, program-based lending, and value chain financing, capacity building and awareness creation, hand-holding of SMEs, leveraging technology, and simplification of the tax regime. And I believe Mr. Jameel Ahmed, Deputy Governor of the State Bank of Pakistan, who is here, will no doubt speak more about these in detail. The licensing regime of credit bureaus has been streamlined, and we have at least 3 credit bureaus in the country with the development of a movable collateral registry. The SECP is also in the process of introducing regulations for establishing equity crowdfunding platforms, while the Pakistan Stock Exchange will be setting up a growth enterprise board to enable listing of SMEs, greenfield projects, and non-profit organizations to raise capital. Access to multiple channels to raise capital will diversify sources of financing for SMEs, enabling them to grow faster and generate employment. However, credit is not the only success factor to run a business profitably. To survive and grow, SMEs have complex needs that go beyond credit. There is evidence that when financial institutions understand the key needs of SMEs and can offer them effective solutions in addition to credit, they help them thrive. Here, technology and fintech can present great opportunities, especially in the payment space, as SMEs largely rely on the basis of cash. In addition to access to finance, issues such as product quality, client relationships, retention of skilled labor, and lack of experience and exposure of the business owners to foreign marketplaces have contributed to the challenges faced by SMEs in Pakistan. Now coming back to what the Economic Affairs Division is doing, the yearbook of fiscal year 2018 of the Economic Affairs Division highlights that provision of non-financial advisory services has been a priority of the government. Programs under bilateral and multilateral arrangements have been designed to provide technical assistance to SMEs operating in the underserved areas of Pakistan. Technical cooperation agreements have been signed with bilateral agencies of partner countries including China, Japan, and Germany, to name a few. Japan's International Cooperation Agency, JICA, runs multiple technical assistance programs providing equipment, conducting feasibility and design studies, and providing technical expertise. Pakistan's domestic automotive industry has also benefited from this transfer of knowledge and skills, and we would like to see this replicated in additional sectors and value chains which can help improve the competitiveness of Pakistan's exports and enable our integration into the global value chains. I believe that the discussion yesterday was about infrastructure financing in Pakistan. In relation to bilateral engagements, developmental projects under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor constitute a key milestone of the government of Pakistan. CPEC is the largest foreign partnership Pakistan has signed, and while investments under the CPEC portfolio are primarily in the infrastructure and energy sectors, these initiatives will have a significant positive spillover on Pakistan's small and medium-scale enterprises. Pakistan is one of the founding members of the Asian Development Bank. Since 1966, the Asian Development Bank has partnered with the government of Pakistan to support key infrastructure needs in the energy, rural development, urban infrastructure sectors, and other sectors, to just name a few. As of 30th June 2018, ADB's cumulative disbursement stood at $22 billion for Pakistan, with a running portfolio of 39 active loans, 6 grants, and 2 co-financing loans. The United Kingdom has also consistently supported the development needs of the country by providing support for financial inclusion, education, healthcare, and a system of social safety nets under the Benazir Income Support Program. The total amount of development assistance provided by UK in the form of grants in fiscal year 2018 stood at £674. The UK's Department for International Development, DFID, through Karandaaz, Pakistan, has been working on multiple angles for promotion of micro, small, and medium enterprises in Pakistan, including the provision of debt and equity funding, knowledge creation, and innovation. As a result, 816,000 jobs in the micro, small, and medium enterprises have successfully been supported. To support women-led business, Karandaaz has disbursed 295 million rupees to small and medium enterprises managed and owned by women from all across the countries. In sum, the government of Pakistan is cognizant and is sensitive to the needs of SMEs, and we realize the importance and the backbone that they are in Pakistan's economy. If our exports are to proceed further, if the economy is to grow further, then this 30% of GDP cannot be ignored. The private sector credit to this sector cannot remain at 7.5%, at just 7.5% of all private sector credit. And if 90% of our enterprises in Pakistan, which are SMEs, if we are to flourish as a country, if we are to move forward and develop as a country, and not just grow, but actually develop as a country as well, then these 90% of our enterprises will have a key role to play in the PTI government. Thank you very much.